In the sterile quiet of St. Clair's private hospital, where the beeping of monitors punctuated the stillness like tiny heartbeats of hope, Emily Carter walked the polished hallways every morning with the same measured steps, a nurse of only 2 years, but with a strength in her heart that radiated deeper than any experience she'd ever known, drawn to her most challenging assignment yet, the comatose hospital bed of Alexander Grant, a once powerful millionaire whose life had ground to a halt. 6 long months ago, after a devastating car accident robbed him of speech, movement, and the world he once ruled, day after day, Emily bathed him gently, washed away what the world saw as just physical dirt, but what she felt in her soul was something far heavier, the weight of invisible sorrow and forgotten humanity. While others viewed him as a shell, she saw a man worth fighting for, someone still breathing dreams beneath the stillness, someone who deserved dignity, care, and unwavering belief even when hope seemed all but gone. And as she spoke softly into the quiet, recounting stories of her own life, her dreams, her fears, the silly things that made her laugh, she didn't know if he could hear her, but she refused to believe that love and compassion were ever truly one-sided, her voice becoming an echo of resilience in the room that for many had become nothing more than a place where time languished, until one afternoon, something impossibly slight, a faint twitch of a finger, made her heart freeze in wonder and terror all at once, and though a seasoned doctor dismissed it as a reflex, Emily's soul screamed it was something more, the first tiny sign that somewhere deep inside Alexander's silent world, a spark of awareness had begun to burn again, and each day thereafter she poured more of herself into his care, staying longer at his bedside, sharing life's mundane jokes, her struggles, and her unshakable belief that he was still in there, listening, feeling, waiting for his moment to rise, a moment that finally came like a dawning sunrise breaking through the darkest night, when one morning she entered his room to find his eyes open, unguarded, clear, eyes that locked onto hers with an intensity that sent her heart reeling, and in that instant the sterile hospital seemed to melt away, replaced by the vibrant pulse of life she had never stopped believing in, a moment so profound that the coffee she held slipped from her fingers and shattered on the floor, though she barely noticed, for all that mattered was the unmistakable flicker of recognition in his gaze, his tug on her hand, weak but real, a resurrection of love and hope that defied every whisper of despair. And as doctors and nurses rushed in disbelief, Emily stood frozen in awe, her quiet voice trembling when she whispered his name, and though his recovery was slow, each day brought more strength, more words, and soon Alexander wasn't just awake, he was alive with gratitude, with curiosity, and with a connection to Emily that transcended the clinical walls that first brought them together, a bond evolving into something neither could deny, for beyond the roles of nurse and patient grew something deeper, a shared humanity forged in the crucible of suffering and healing. Yet not everyone understood their connection, especially Victoria Grant, Alexander's poised and proud mother, who viewed Emily's kindness through the harsh lens of privilege and suspicion, accusing her of opportunism and questioning her motives, and in that confrontation Emily felt the sting of judgment, her heart battered by words that cut deeper than any physical blow, but Alexander's eyes remained steady, defending her with a strength he hadn't shown in months, insisting that her care was real, that it was love, not duty, and though the turbulent moment threatened to drive them apart, it only solidified the truth of what they felt, unshakable even in the face of misunderstanding and pain. Yet the battle inside Emily's heart was not won so easily, for the fear of being just another chapter in his extraordinary life drove her to distance herself, believing that love born from circumstance might be fragile at best, and so she fled, leaving Alexander behind in the silent room that suddenly felt unbearably cold without her voice filling it, her absence haunting his every waking hour, while she struggled with her own regrets, questioning whether leaving was an act of self-protection or surrender to fear. But hearts that have felt the true warmth of connection seldom rest for long in separation, and Alexander, driven not by duty but by a love that had awakened with him, took a bold step that surprised everyone. He called a press conference not to proclaim his recovery, not to announce his business triumphs, but to publicly declare what Emily had always known in her heart, that she saved him not just physically but spiritually, her kindness pulling him back from the brink of an endless sleep and breathing life into his very soul. And as cameras flashed and reporters murmured, his voice, steady yet shaking with emotion, spoke her name with reverence, his message a testament to the truth that sometimes the greatest miracles happen not in grand gestures but in the slow, compassionate devotion of one human to another. And miles away, Emily watched, tears streaming down her face, as his words broke through every doubt she had ever held about her worth, about love, and about the beautiful vulnerability that comes when two souls meet under the most unlikely circumstances and choose to see each other fully, without judgment, without reserve. And in that moment she realized she could no longer deny the depth of what she felt, and rushing out into the world with her heart pounding like a drum of destiny, she arrived at the hospital with hope and trepidation entwined in her breath. And there, in the physical therapy room, Alexander struggled toward her, each step a testament to his resilience and to the unbreakable bond that had grown between them, and when they finally embraced, the world outside faded into insignificance, for in each other's arms they found not just love, but the meaning of healing itself, a force that redefined them both, reshaping their futures, and months later, their life together, built on laughter, compassion, and shared purpose, stood as a tribute to the truth that sometimes the people who save us are the ones we least expect, that miracles are born in patience and belief, and that love, real, unguarded, powerful love, is the most transformative force of all, a truth that if this story touched your heart even a little, you'll want to like, share, and most importantly subscribe to this channel for more stories that stir the soul, uplift the spirit, and remind us that where there is hope, there is life, and where there is love, there is forever. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a tale that might just change your life, because every story here carries a lesson worth holding onto, and we'll see you in the next heart-touching journey of courage, resilience, and unexpected miracles.